It's that time of year. Time of year where Evan Haskill announces his Bourbon of the Year. 2015, Big Man Small Batch narrowly defeated Metz's Select out of MGP. 2016 was the year that Journeyman, Kissing Cousins, took the prize. Last year, Old Forester 1920 was in the driver's seat until I got my hands on Limestone Branch Yellowstone Limited Edition, which took first prize last year. And this year, Elmer T. Lee. It's worth noting that back when I invented Instagram bourbon reviews, it was with Elmer T. Lee. Elmer T. Lee was the bourbon that I used for that historic bourbon review. It was silent, if you can remember all that way back. But you know, over the years, Elmer T. Lee has really been a sticking point for me. This is really what we call sort of a gateway hunting bourbon, okay? Kind of everybody's first bourbon that they hunt, that they have to, you know, really seek out. When you find out that not all bourbon sits on the shelf, it's the Elmer T. Lee. I have had, you know, countless bottles of this. Went through many bottles of the commemorative at the 93 proof. And of course, a couple bottles of the 1990s Elmer T. Lee BUB. I had the Restillery turn this one into a lamp for me, which I am very grateful for. Super cool. But yeah, a couple things went into the Elmer T. Lee being named the Bourbon of the Year for me this year. You know, number one, it's like we already talked about. I mean, it's really a staple of the bourbon industry, a staple of bourbon hunting. Of course, Elmer T. Lee, you know, one of the premier distillers of all time. Elmer T. Lee is a single barrel, sour mash, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey at 90 proof. I've had a couple drams from this year, which obviously, you know, went into, you know, my decision here. But also, you know, one of the things that they were able to do is they kind of, Elmer T. Lee took a little bit of a hit back in 2015 when there were rumors of a cork taint issue. The jury kind of is out on whether or not that was actual or just perceived. But you know, one of the places you see it is secondary market. Weller 12 and Elmer T. Lee had always kind of been neck and neck. After 2015, Weller 12 almost doubled the value of Elmer on the secondary, for whatever that's worth. But Elmer has actually caught up in terms of the secondary, where they're neck and neck again as far as what people are asking for them. The other thing that I found pretty neat is I've seen this year more than ever, and myself included, is people being able to find it at state minimum or at suggested retail. So that really went into my thought process as well for selecting Elmer T. Lee. I know some of you are going to scoff at that and think, no, I only still see it for $100 plus, or I haven't seen it on the shelf in years. You know, everyone's experience is different. For me, I've seen the price going up and up. I haven't seen it at Michigan State minimum in quite some time, and yet that's exactly what I paid for this bottle. So, like we always do, let's see how it pops off. Just solid, just a good old standby, what you expect. My Glencairn for the evening is the Bourbon Show Hall of Fame. I was the 10th inductee after I had to take my leave of absence. So this Glencairn is very important to me. I thought it would be good to commemorate the occasion. So, Buffalo Trace Elmer T. Lee, Evan Haskell's 2018 Bourbon of the Year. Stay tuned. Doing a lot more awards for the 2018 season. And be sure to check out my buddy Fred Minnick. He is also starting to release some of his favorites from 2018. You are definitely not going to want to miss that. Cheers.